Welcome, Roxanne Plants and Fancy Ants, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And it took us a little while. We had delays this week, but we are kicking off Geek Salad's April Disney month. This month, we are covering 4 live action. We're going to use that term sparingly, loosely, if you will. As we talked this month about 4 live action remakes from the Disney canon that were created from their animated stuff. So originally this week we were going to do Maleficent, do the chronology of when things came out. And then I found out that Maleficent is not on Disney Plus anymore.
Nope. Nor is it available pretty much anywhere.
No, you have to rent it. And I'm not invested enough to rent.
No.
I have not seen it, and it's been kind of on the list of things that I've wanted to see, which is kind of like why we do our things.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna. It was on Disney Plus. It left. It's gonna come back, so I just gotta wait for it. So we are still trying to figure out what's gonna fill the 4th slot. We've got a few. We'll do a live version, a live action version of it. So instead we moved over to the next one on our list, which is actually one that both Mike and I really enjoy, which is 2016's The Jungle Book.
Yep. It is live action in that there are 2 live action human beings in the movie.
Yes, there was a human boy and a guy with fire.
Yeah.
So you saw this in the theater, right?
Yes, I did.
As did I. It's interesting because I feel with this movie, The Jungle Book is one of my favorite all-time Walt Disney animated films. And I didn't so much mind that they did have to stretch this out for time, because they most certainly did.
Yeah.
I didn't quite mind the changes, and I understand adding some stuff and switching some stuff around because it's way easier to get away with racism in the 60s than it is now. So, wee bit, yeah.
I enjoyed the animated Jungle Book, but I don't have the special part in my heart that you do. So this one,
yeah,
I thought this was fantastic. I actually thought it would. I know you're probably not going to agree with me here, but I think it actually improved upon the animated one.
It's a tough call. Because I still feel like even with the live action remakes, you do have to look at them through a different lens than you do the animated. I don't know if it's weird because we are going to spend a lot of this month comparing things against the animated movie.
All right.
But a lot of it, I think, comes down to should you have done that, or did you do it because you could?
Okay.
Which I think is Disney's motto when it comes to doing these live action remakes in a lot of cases. And I will talk about one in a minute because we had a 3-day gap in between when we were originally going to do this, which was Tuesday, and tonight. I had some time to do a little extra research, but I'll get into that in just a hair. Hey, Jane,
hey, Jane.
How are ya? Welcome to our retro movie review. We are just talking about The Jungle Book. So, all right, Mike, what works for you in this movie?
What works for me in this movie is quite a lot, actually. I thought Neil Sethi, I think his name is.
I think so.
I mean, being pretty much his first movie ever, he did a fantastic job acting against essentially nothing.
Against nothing or tennis balls on sticks to act as a sight line. Yeah, it's...
But beyond that, his acting ability great, but the voice cast for this is second to none.
It is. It absolutely is. And I feel like it blends well into this. I felt like what worked for me on this is the sets. None of this was shot in the jungle. This was all shot in a studio, essentially utilizing green screen.
Yeah, it was shot in a big old warehouse in downtown LA.
Yeah. He never got near an animal. But you wouldn't know that. I feel like, I mean, with a couple of exceptions to bring up in a few minutes, I felt like the animals felt real enough for the purposes necessary. The thing is too is that because we're so used to these animals having so much personality, it worked for the characters, even though, I mean, we had some recognizable voices in there, and in the terms of Christopher Walken, I mean, it's just, you get what you get now with him.
Yeah.
But
you get Christopher Walken.
I feel like
they even had a big old cowbell in there. Come on.
They did. Yeah, nice touch.
Yeah.
I did like, I thought Ben Kingsley was fantastic in this. Very, very subdued because I've seen him overact and it's hilarious. Giancarlo Esposito, Lupita Nyong'o, both fantastic. Idris Elba. Wow. This 2016 was the year of Idris the Disney guy because he appeared in no less than 3 Disney movies.
Jungle Book.
Are you remembering those movies?
Thor.
Yes. Nope. That was 2017.
Oh. What'd you got?
All right. So this Zootopia. And
yeah.
He was one of the seals in Finding Dory.
Oh yeah, he was.
All 2016. Wow. He's done everything but Star Wars at this point. Which
I'm actually kind of surprised because he does seem like he'd be a good one for Star Wars.
He would be a good fit. I'm sure it's a matter of time, depending on what they're doing, because he is essentially a movie star now. We're not going to see him in a lot of TV. Yeah. And seeing as that's kind of where they're looking at right now until they can figure out what they want to do with the Star Wars films. But yeah, his Shere Khan is so he's menacing in a way. I feel like George Sanders was nice. He was very, very subdued.
He was kind of a gentleman villain.
What's that?
He was kind of a gentleman villain.
He was a gentleman villain. Whereas this, making him a tiger, he's a friggin' tiger.
Yeah. Idris Elba, he just speaks with such menace. Every single voice, every single word he's saying, even when he's like trying to be nice, there's just an undercurrent of just, you do not want to fuck with this guy.
Right, exactly. And Scarlett Johansson as Ka. It was a really nice change because she's just got that voice. She's got the sundown voice, and it worked really well for this.
Yeah.
Nice too to really kind of augment the song a little bit. I don't know how much of a singer she really is, but I thought she did a good job when they truncated the song down a little bit. Yeah. This is not a musical in the way that the animated movie is. No. Couple songs.
I do have to give special recognition to Lupita Nyong'o as Raksha, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to... When I was in the theater watching this, and like that early scene happens when Mowgli says he's going to leave, and Raksha's like, "No, you are my son." It actually brought some tears to my eyes. She sold that so well.
It was, I mean, and again, I think because they gave themselves the time to establish that Mowgli is part of the pack. More so than in the animated movie where it's just like, he's got to go to the man village. Okay.
It happens.
Yeah. And then we got Bill Murray as Baloo. Baloo is one of probably my top 5 all-time favorite Disney characters. I had no problem with what he was doing. I felt like his voice was great. And I really paid a lot of attention to the animation in this, how they animated his face to see if it was just kind of like, okay, here's this animatronic skeleton that, that it doesn't exist anywhere but in the ether of the computers with Bill Murray's voice. And he really did seem to inhabit there. He was there. As far as I'm concerned, he was there.
Yeah. Dude, the whole scene where he was Mowgli was trying to get down the honeycomb, and all
Mm.
of Baloo's buddies came along. He's like, "Oh, he's got another one. He's got another."
Yep. Oh no! Oh, were those females? The female sting. It was really good. I felt like they didn't break out. I mean, the closest thing to breaking out into a musical number that's in this is "I Want to Be Like You."
Yeah.
Where it to me feels a little out of place considering all the other songs that were sung were kind of like they're within the action.
Yeah.
And this just stops the show dead so you can have, giant orangutan Christopher Walken do a 5-minute thing.
Yeah. That's probably my biggest downside for this movie is that the whole "I Want to Be Like You" with Christopher Walken and even the kind of like a not really singing but kind of singing bare necessities that they do. They're fine, but I kind of wish that they just left them to the end credits like they did with Trust in Me.
Right.
I mean,
But here's the thing though, with how they did bare necessities, I felt like that really was building that bond between Mowgli and Baloo. Versus again, stopping the show just so you can let Christopher Walken sing for 5 minutes. That is a very long number.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of what did not work, what didn't work for you?
Like I said, I think
Yeah.
the songs, they're good songs. I like them, especially in the animated one. Here, they were fine. Leave them for the end credits. They didn't need to slow down the movie itself. Even the Bears Necessities, I liked what they did with it. I think they could have done that a different way and just left the song in the end credits. They had like 12 minutes of end credits. They could have done all the songs there.
Right. I mean, for myself, what doesn't work, there were some animatronic models that did not work on this. Some of the monkeys, looked like how a computer interpreted a monkey is supposed to look like.
That's one thing I did notice, especially when they were grabbing Mowgli.
When they're grabbing Mowgli, a lot of it looked fake. There are portions too where Bagheera, against a black background or a darkened black background, really looked like he wasn't in that plane of existence. I mean, these are technical nitpicks, but again, I feel like what did work about this was that they were able to instill personality into these characters, which have a lot of personality. Now, I promised it, and I'm going to bring it up right now. In the 3 days that we were going to do this and we didn't, I went back and I watched the live action Lion King. There's nothing live action about that movie at all, but here we are. It's astounding how different and how devoid of life and personality the characters in Lion King are compared to, I mean, what essentially is a smaller grouping of animals, a smaller grouping of talking characters.
Yeah.
They did I feel Favreau did a way better job with them in this than he did in Lion King, where the entire cast is. And that could also be true that they had to interact against a human being in this, so you were getting a little more emotion in there, and it seemed to. It's not so much of a no-sided conversation; it's a one-sided conversation with another character coming in. So that's my thought. How about?
I haven't seen Lion King's live action Lion King yet. So
yeah. I'd be interested in your thoughts. I don't know if it's going to hit this month's reviews.
Yeah, we've got a few different options that we're
playing around with, but I mean, all in all, I still enjoyed this movie. I don't think I was as dumbfounded as I was when I saw it in the theater. I was really, astounded by what I saw in the theater when I first saw this. It is that kind of movie that is a, it's a, and you see it is a feat. And it does lessen when you're watching, especially when you're watching on a smaller screen, no stereo or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I did I do enjoy this one, and I think out of what I have seen in the live action remakes, this is my favorite.
I think it's my
I think
second favorite.
starting up top.
Yeah, if you're going with like just live actions, I think this is my second favorite.
Okay,
Um,
behind.
behind the live action Aladdin, actually.
Okay.
I was genuinely surprised at how much I love that one, and which is weird because the animated Aladdin is like one of my all in my top five, if not my top three favorite animated movies of all
Yeah,
time.
yeah. And I mean, we had this conversation 3 years ago when the movie came out,
Yeah.
on this channel,
Right.
so you can go back and check for that. But I felt like with Aladdin, I liked it more than I thought I was going to. I didn't love it, and I haven't gone back to watch it since.
The thing that for me most stands out about the Jungle Book is I remember I think it was 2015 at D23.
Okay.
I was there. It was a live action panel, and they were showing like footage from Captain America: Civil War. They're showing like footage from like these massive like
Yeah.
Last Jedi, these massive, huge tentpole movies. But the thing that everybody was buzzing about most coming out of the live action panel was like the 5-minute sizzle reel of this movie that
Okay.
John Favreau brought up. He brought up he brought up the cast, including Neil Sethi, and he showed this just like the sizzle reel that wasn't completely finished, but there was enough there to like, oh wow, this is
Right.
gonna this is gonna be very special, and I think it was.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think that, quite honestly, I feel like this is it. It empowered Disney to continue to do these.
Yeah.
This did win an Oscar for special effects.
Rightfully so, I think.
Rightfully so, yeah. And when we continue on with this series throughout the course of the month, I just at this point, and I don't even know what we're doing for one of the movies, and I haven't seen the other one, but the one we're doing next week, I just feel like it is diminishing returns going forward.
I'm not even totally sure what we're doing next week, so I can't say.
All right. Well, I will reveal that once we are done tonight.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts on the Jungle Book?
I do like how they changed the ending. I mean, because the ending of the Animal Wave one, oh, he sees a pretty girl, so he decides to go live with the man village. They would probably burn him at the stake for being like a wild creature.
I'm not exactly sure what their culture dictates when the feral child comes calling.
But I thought this ending made a lot more sense because the wolf pack is his family. I mean, why?
Yeah, I agree, and we're not going to see a sequel. A sequel might have actually put him back in the man village, or
I thought I thought they were still kind of thinking about a sequel to it.
that was 6 years ago. That kid may as well be an adult now. I feel like
on May 29th, 2021, the sequel was confirmed to be still in development.
Okay, sure.
And in 2018, Neil Sethi confirmed that he will reprise his role as Mowgli in the sequel. So I mean,
so maybe it's a grown-up Mowgli. So essentially, it's our Tarzan.
Yeah, basically.
Maybe. Oh, I don't know. I know it's like one of those. It's that joke that Favreau does these just so he can continue making his passion projects with Lucasfilm, because they're all under the same umbrella now.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much never going to get rid of him as Happy Hogan. So,
nor I think they should. I love him as Happy Hogan.
No, he'll just show up in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to keep this kind of on the shorter side tonight, but I enjoyed this one a whole lot.
Yeah.
This was an absolute pleasure to watch, especially after having watched The Lion King and almost immediately after going,
Let's go back to Jungle Book.
It's painful, yeah. No, I really enjoyed this. So we are curious, what are your thoughts on the Jungle Book 2016? leave a polite comment below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, especially for any of our new viewers. Hi, Jane. So we would love to hear your input on this. Go back, check out our back catalog of all of this fun stuff, because we do this every week. We've been doing this for 4 years, so we do a lot of it. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So next week, we're going to be covering 2017's Beauty and the Beast.
That's right. Thank you. I forgot.
Okay. Yep. I knew we had this conversation. I'm not spraying anything on you. You just forgot.
Yeah.
So we will. I have to go back and I have to watch it now.
Yeah. Me too.
Again, I've watched it before, but
yeah.
I'll see how my opinion has changed in 5 years. But stay tuned for that. That will be out sometime next week, maybe a little earlier in the week, depending on my rehearsal schedule and everything. This was everything get dropped in my lap at once. So anyway, folks, if you are new to the channel, again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing. If you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast. You can also check out all of our Swaggle and Mikey Ons on TeePublic, which is keyword Geek Salad Podcast. So until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
Go forth, be nerdful, and have a magical day.